US Virat Kohli was nearly mobbed. Indian captain Rohit Sharma and wicketkeeper batter Rishabh Pant were allegedly heckled, body shamed in Australia. Can you believe it? Even Shubman Gill was targeted during training, where 3,000 fans unleashed chaos on our Indian cricketers during net practice ahead of the Adelaide Test in Australia yesterday. Now, Team India is in Australia for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy Test series against Australia. The second Test series begins on Friday in Adelaide Oval, and there's a lot of history when India play Australia, especially in Adelaide. Now, during the Australian training session, not more than 70-odd people turned up, but during India's session, reports say that over 3,000 people came and turned it into a nightmare. Remember, viewers, the Indian team faced a similar incident in 2012 in Melbourne during a practice session. Indian cricketers Rohit Sharma and Praveen Kumar were involved in a verbal spat with Team India fans who directed abusive slogans and chants at them. And this behaviour, in fact, from fans resulted in BCCI having a discussion with Cricket Australia to allow them to practice behind closed doors to avoid distractions. Thus, there will be no more open practice sessions for the remainder of the tour during the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. But unfortunately, heckling is not new to cricket. There have been innumerable such instances when heckling and unruly behaviour by fans has dented the gentleman game's image. Let's take a look at some of the prominent examples. In 1997, Inzamam-ul Haq was called Alu in Toronto by an Indian fan. And Inzamam, who's known for his calm demeanour, lost his cool. He charged into the crowd holding a bat in hand. Players and officials rushed to defuse the situation then. In 2012, fans allegedly pestered Shahid Afridi for an autograph. An angry Afridi roughed up the fan at Karachi airport. In 2017, India lost to Pakistan in the Champions Trophy in London. Mohammad Shami was heckled by a Pakistani fan and Pakistani supporters shouted "Baap Kaun." In Jan 2021, Mohammad Siraj was on the receiving end of heckling. Siraj was subjected to racial abuse by spectators, and this incident happened at the Sydney cricket ground as well. Let's open this up and take it across to our panelists joining us now. We have Alan Sippy, former cricketer. Bimal Soni is also with us. He's a former manager of the Indian cricket team. Let me come across to you first, Bimal Soni. This is something that team managements have to contend with, excited and overeager fans, but it's also something that could have been avoided. 3,000 fans is certainly not something that you see at stadiums, particularly here in India, during net practice the day before a match.
Well, India-Australia series is always welcome, and there are a lot of Indians who come to watch matches in Australia. And at the net practice, I think they should have been kept at a distance, because fans can do anything. They were not heckling, I would say, but they were always commenting on the players while they are in practice. And players were concentrating on their cricket. For them to be heckled like this is not fair. And practice should be, separated from the fans at the time when they are doing net practice. So I think what happened was not good, and the fans don't understand the seriousness of net, which the Indians were doing. And it is the duty of the organizers to see that fans don't come so near to the players when they are doing net practice.
Absolutely. Something that could have very easily been avoided, Alan Sippy, because, we all know how Indian fans, can get excited, how popular cricket as a sport is in India as compared to other countries. Is there somewhere or the other, there's also some sort of commentary on social media that perhaps this was some kind of mind games from Australia's side after the performance in the first Test? Do you agree with that theory at all?
No, I do not agree. Sorry, Madhav, I don't agree with that theory. But you see, sports, it's like the football and cricket. They generate huge fan following. And in cricket in India, it's massive. It's all over the world. The entire world follows Indian cricket, the Indians all over the world. So naturally, there's going to be people, very excitable characters, trying to say something and whatever they're doing. But my point is here that Indian team having so many superstars and training, in someone like Australia, they've gone there for a reason. They've gone there to prepare themselves for a big battle. Australia's series is not easy. So they have to be focused. They have to concentrate. And when you have a net session, whether you're practicing and doing something, it's about fine-tuning and honing your skills. According to me, I'm glad this has come up because BCCI and the cricketing body should stop spectators from actually going and watching this. Because you see in Premiership football, you don't get these people coming to watch the game, the training session. So why are we allowing these people to do that? And Madhav, one more point, which is crucial. Sometimes today we're just talking about people heckling and abusing. Tomorrow it could be far worse. Tomorrow it could be something even, somebody could take some, throw stones or whatever. We should stop this. This is a team that has gone to play for their country. They should be given chance to practice in peace and not be heckled, not be, name called, whatever. So for me, I think this is wrong. BCCI will take action because India is a very powerful, cricketing body. So I'm sure there will be action, and rightly so. They should not allow this to happen again.
And also, Bimal Soni, what is very strange is that they were allowed to live stream on social media platforms. That's what we've seen of some of the fans. Now, this is raising huge concerns, not just of privacy, but also of security. And, why wasn't there security there in the first place?
Well, I am very clear. They should not have been allowed, as Ellen is also saying. But whatever has happened, the heckling, the disturbance of the serious net practice, I think this could also be a strategy by Australia. I will take that attitude because they have no business to send fans so closer to cricketers when they are playing their serious net. And net practice before a test is a very serious affair for the team. And a couple of boys are also fighting for a place in the team. So I don't think so. This kind of heckling is good, and it disrupts the plans and serious net practice of the visiting team.
Right. Also, my question to you, Alan, would also be as far as the Indian fans are concerned. Perhaps it's time for them also to practice a little self-restraint. This kind of making personal comments, body shaming. These are, in very, very poor taste. Perhaps somewhere or the other, fans themselves also hold some amount of responsibility, particularly because this is a team that they're backing and they want to win.
Absolutely. But Madhav, we have this thing, unfortunately, we have this thing in India and Indian followers. They seem to, some idiots, I'm not talking the majority of the fans. There are a lot of fans who are really disciplined and whatever. But then you always get these few clowns, and these few clowns get excited. And they seem to abuse, they seem to heckle their own team, which is shocking. They're not actually heckling the Australian side. I mean, this is weird that the Indian fan following traveling around the world, trying to see their superstars and actually heckling the Indians, which is absurd. So obviously you will get these few clowns in the crowd, which is wrong. But at the same time, if you keep them away, most of them away, it is better because this is a big series. Whether it's this series or whatever, I think BCCI and the governing body should look into this seriously and not let this happen again, because it could be something detrimental in the future.
All right. Alan Seppi and Bimal Soni, thanks so much for joining us.